it. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like yeah. In the feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? In the feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. In the feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like yeah. In the feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Not a day in my life, long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life, as long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in the ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna blame me, no conversation.
Okay, Coach, thank you. On a cold night at the foot of the Rockies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And the Mile High air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go, set, 50, plant. All right, here we go. Let's go, D, let's go. Hey, let's get there. Recon, 132 fighter. Hit it.
Here's the first carry for Northwestern's Justin Jackson. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Second and 5. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Get ready.
From the gun, Malone. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Come on, set.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Malone, he's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Looking to throw. Malone. And it is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Texans take over an excellent field position.
Ready. Blue lady. You're not ready. You're not ready.
They run on 1st down with Jackson. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Watch the screen.
On 1st down, Jackson. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Now Jackson. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
On 2nd down, this is Jackson. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Sterling Shepard, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans push further out in front. Gold with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the run, this is Jackson. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
So that flag will cost them 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run it with Jackson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. They're just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
3rd and long for Winston. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 43. Quick throw here to Hilton. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch, maybe you move some motion, maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They run the counter. Jackson. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Winston. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now the throw pulled in by Anderson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On first down, Malone. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Chandler Jones in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. 2nd and 15. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kaiser White. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes.
And this is caught inside the 5. A gain of 37.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Robert Woods, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Texans push further out in front. That, of course, all set up by the big run on the play prior. They took advantage right away with the touchdown throw.
And you mentioned advantage, probably taking advantage of their natural instinct after that previous play to be aggressive and rush towards the line of scrimmage. And instead, they were vulnerable to the pass.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now a give, right side. It's Jackson. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Back to throw. Malone He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd down now, it's Jackson, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
Now it's Jackson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming.
A 52-yard attempt.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run the counter. Jackson. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd and 9, Winston. This one hauled in by Sample. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Then he'll find his target, Woods. It's complete. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, if you're going to pass on 3rd and 1, you better get a first down if you complete it. They completed it, but no gain.
The aiming point has to be beyond the first down marker where you throw the ball. 3rd and 1, you can't have anything that's even close to the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you run the risk of what we just saw there, not getting the first down.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field, and he wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here, and we're picking this one up. That's some leadership right there.
Winston in the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Jameis to throw it. This is caught, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Black 25.
From the gun, Winston. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Randy Gregory. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Hey. 4 down.
Winston. Escaping the pressure right. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
You got nothing.
Winston to throw for it on 4th. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. And Gold is able to put it through. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll run again with Jackson. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Malone. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Ready? 60 out, low. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Now.
They'll run on first down. Jackson. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 41-yard line.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Jackson as he'll stay on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw on 3rd down. Malone. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. A huge play there for Denver. 49 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Now again, right side. It's Patterson, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on first and goal. They'll run with Jackson. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. They run again with Jackson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long third and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Miles Boykin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos get a bit closer.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Winston now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. To throw, Winston. Complete to Hilton. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They run with Jackson out of the gun. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Texans push further out in front. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Jackson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Back to throw. Malone, and that will be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Looking to throw. Malone. There he goes left side. And he will have a touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
We play to win. Let's go.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jackson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Got it. Here we go. 70, Indy.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Houston, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, it's another week to forget as they're going to fall to 1-12 now on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles David.